Hey, welcome to Web3 Weekly with your host, Blockstar Technology.
Let's go.
So guys, today we're going to talk about CryptoCon. So we attended CryptoCon over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Had a great time. We had a booth there as well. So, sorry, I clicked him to mute. So we had a booth there at the CryptoCon convention event in Gold Coast over the weekend. First ever convention to do with crypto, and it was a great event. So today we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it, and yeah, we built some really great relationships. So my name is Kosi and
Craig,
Charlie,
Maureen. So guys, so let's talk about what do you guys think?
Saturday was hectic. Saturday morning.
Yeah.
There were far more people there than I think anybody anticipated. And even as exhibitors, it was difficult to get through lines to the right spot to pick up what you needed to even get in.
Right. Because of the popularity, I think it just completely surprised, right?
Really, you thought more people than they anticipated when they sold tickets? I feel like they knew how many people were coming. I was shocked to see the lines. The lines are crazy.
I felt sorry for the people going through the tickets because I happened to go through and find the actual names for the people rather than a quick print out and go. That's probably the only thing I would have changed.
I'll correct my statement there. Far more than I anticipated.
Yes.
Surely they must have known because they sold the tickets.
Number of tickets, yes.
Yeah.
And like everything, I mean, I would think like everyone thought they're going to get in there first. So all 3,000 or 4,000 people just turn up.
Michael Saylor at 9:20 a.m. on Saturday, everyone was probably trying to get in. And
get into that one, right?
Exactly. The theatres, because the theatres weren't particularly huge either.
Yeah.
But I think they've done very well for their first
absolutely.
event for the Australian Crypto Convention.
And I think especially for a Gold Coast event,
yes,
it was really popular for a Gold Coast event.
I guess with all these conventions, normally they go to Sydney or they go to Melbourne or Brisbane, New York, Singapore, right? And then here you have it in Gold Coast, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good move. I think Gold Coast being a good test bed for the for these guys, because now they're seeing how it works at Gold Coast. Now if you look at the what they had to spend as a budget, now think like if they had went to go all the way in Sydney or Melbourne and didn't have a crowd there, but now they're seeing what happens in Gold Coast. Now they can be like truly confident when they start going to Melbourne and Sydney, right?
I mean, there was a lot of people that travelled up from Melbourne and Sydney specifically for the conference.
Yes.
And some from overseas as well.
That's true, from all over the place, but I can only then assume that there was also a heap more people that didn't travel to the conference.
Yes.
And if it's held in their local city, then I think it's going to be far bigger next year.
Yeah. How different was Saturday from Sunday though?
Yeah.
Like completely different atmosphere, different vibe. I think maybe everyone got a little bit too excited Saturday night. I think maybe Saturday might have put people off a little bit because it was too busy and long lines, and they probably didn't want to go through that again, or they just went really hard on Saturday night.
And the after,
the after
party was in the middle of in between the 2 days, so it wasn't really after, it was a mid-conference party.
Yeah.
So if I say, before we start really dive deep into the other areas, what was the if we talk about the first part of the day on Saturday, right? What was the highlight for you guys? So if I start with Craig, what?
I think just the amount of people that wanted to know what Web3 blockchain and crypto was about. Like, there seem to be a lot of people that have dabbled a little bit, but the majority of people there were to try and learn more. They want to know what's going on.
Okay. Off to you, Charlie. What do you think?
I'd say meeting people I've known online in real person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was good. It was good to meet them actually in person and have a chat rather than just being online for so long. So yeah, that was one of my benefits for Saturday.
I don't know what happened to me on Saturday. I went crazy with the merchandise. Like, I think me and Mo had a weird competition where we're like, let's see what we can get. I went home with like 10 shirts and 4 water bottles and a bunch of hats. I don't know if I'll ever wear all of it. Some of it I definitely will.
Yeah.
I think all at once.
All at once.
I'll try it because
Yeah.
I should just to make sure.
Yeah.
That was my highlight.
I would say my highlight for the morning part on Saturday, because I want to go with morning, afternoon, and Sunday morning, afternoon. I just want to go with a bit of framework. So for me, the Saturday was that when we got into the exhibition center, the convention center, and we parked the car. I parked right next to the lift, right? And it's like, oh my God, like there's no one here yet, And I thought so I was like, oh, this is cool. So we start setting it up, and we're like in there and setting the place up and having a good chat and having a coffee. And I was like, oh, where are all the people? No one's here, right? And I'm just thinking, it's 9 o'clock. No one's here. And I'm like, I didn't realize that outside this whole different thing going on.
Yeah.
Right? And
We were on the other side of the
Yes. We can vouch for them, the people that were outside.
right. And I thought and when I saw when I'm online and when I saw the people like outside waiting to come in, I thought, wow, I was so blown away by that. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is like so cool because it's to do with given the current market conditions, and we always keep on saying like, oh, people are like, not really into crypto still. You still like, they're so early. We're saying all that, and then we see like people can't get in. They're stuck outside.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, I don't think we are that far away now. Everyone now heard about it. Everyone want to now see what's going on. What do you think, Charlie?
I think we're still early. When you talk to the majority of people, like my normal friends,
All right.
they're still, it's an NFT, like, I don't know about this Bitcoin thing, or Bitcoin had 60k. Charlie, should I buy some? Probably not at the moment, but when I told you a few years ago, that's when you should, so just hold off, you know, like, so there's still a lot of learning.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign because I think speaking to some of the people, the exhibitors, even they were like, oh, thank God, what a difference to last year. Like, didn't one of the Binance guys make a comment like, thank God this is the first year where people didn't come up to us and say, what's Binance?
Yes.
And that's all a good sign. And I remember, there's definitely signs of it being at different stages. I think when we sat in on that NFT talk, people might have heard about crypto and they slowly came on board. And then there's a new thing, NFTs, and like people at the same pace and same rate are slowly coming on board. Like when Rowdy said, oh, let's have a show of hands.
Yes.
I was surprised to see, even though it was a small room, that was the people that were interested in listening, the show of hands, like they'd just sort of started dabbling in the last year. But, in terms of people that have been taking that sort of risk in the last 2-3 years, it definitely, there's only Charlie and maybe one other.
I feel NFTs have brought in a whole new demographic to blockchain crypto.
Yeah.
Where with the art community coming in, even within the next 2 to 5 years, you'll see GameFi explode. So you're going to have a big gaming demographic that's going to increase insanely. Where back in the day it was just us Deegan traders trading tokens for other tokens.
Do you think that increase in the number of people interested in NFTs, not that people aren't interested in crypto, obviously with the crypto you have the opportunity to make money, but could it be with NFTs there is such a vast array of utility that's available through an NFT.
I think with NFT as well, it's two sides to the coin, because I think a lot of people saw the crypto boom, and so with NFT, a lot of people are hoping that that's the second wave, like the get rich quick scheme. So you've got a whole bunch of people that are in it because they don't understand and they want to get rich, and then you've got a bunch of people that have been in the space for so long that see the potential of NFT. So you've got such a mix, because I know so many people that are like, oh, I bought this NFT, I don't know anything about it, but I hope I'm a millionaire. So it's a confusing, but can we get a poll at some stage with anyone that's listening on any of the socials as to whether it's pronounced Deegan or Deegan?
Deegan.
Deegan? Deegan, like, like, Deegan, it's from degenerate, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, degenerate,
so, sorry Charlie, but that's...
That's still Deegan to me. I've been there, I've learned that. But even the other thing with NFTs that really surprised me, like going 2020, like you go 2019, 2020 and before that, not many people knew about MetaMask. Like people were getting into crypto trading and they were on Binance or whatever other exchange, Coinbase, CoinSpot, whoever. And then with the NFT boom, it sort of made this big direction into self-custodian wallets with getting into MetaMask, connecting to OpenSea or Rarible, and it was like, hang on, when did this happen? Like, all these newcomers just straight into MetaMask. I guess the YouTube tutorials out there are a lot better now, but before 2020, it was like the real crypto people that had MetaMask to go do ICOs or something or other, and then with OpenSea being wallet connected and everything, it just made a big education. That's probably the thing that blew me away too.
I think it shows that the consumers, if I can use that term for them, are more educated. And a lot of that could be because they understand that they've heard or read about the volatility in the crypto market, and when getting into it, will actually do their own research and realise that that's a much better option is to have a non-custodial wallet.
100%. So,
comes with learning curves, but yes.
Cool. Alrighty. So, another thing. So, I mean, then the afternoon as well. Saturday, I had to say, like, whole day is pretty much the same flow of people. I would say, from me, I was like going actually, talking to a few people, and you want to say something?
No, well, the thing that struck me about the majority of people, like Saturday morning, as we discussed, it was just people coming through, like, what do you want to do? Saturday afternoon, pretty much anybody that came and spoke to me, pretty much the first question was, what's your project?
Yes.
They assume that you have a project, that you're there to shill a particular thing. So I've had to sort of step them back a touch and explain that we don't have a project, but that we develop your project, depending on what you want that to be.
Yeah.
So
I guess for people like they you know what, it's a lot easier to ask the question, what is your project, and get involved rather than like, okay, what do you want? Like, I have no idea. And I think that could be it. And we had some good conversations, I think, later in the day with a number of people. And I think the other part is like, if you go to the next day, like Sunday, I think people who really wanted to have some good discussions came back, right?
Like the real serious people that committed to coming in 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were quite a few people that I'd spoken to on the Saturday that asked, what is your project? I said, I explained that, no, we build your project. Then I'm pretty sure went away and had to think overnight. And then definitely, like, there were many of the same people came back and went, right, I have this idea, or I'm looking to do this.
Yes.
And that's where we sort of really got into it.
I think that it was really great because I was so blown away with the amount of people that were there and the turnout that there was a point where I was like, whoa, there's more of us. There's so many people. It's so hard, like you said, a lot of, I suppose, as much as it is getting more, heard about, known about, and it's picking up, and it's not like what it was when we were in the space 2017, 2018, there's definitely more, but you still get it because they're like, it's just like it's magic internet money, it's magic internet friends, like,
that's right.
so it was really cool, like, I met so many cool people.
You start
And-
off thinking that
yeah.
you're the only weirdo, and then you go, oh look, there's two more of us.
That is,
So now there's three weirdos, and then you
Yeah.
go somewhere like that, you go, I'm not alone.
yeah.
It was, yeah.
And it was just, it was really cool to meet so many people, hear about other people's projects. I think Cozy and I went around and interviewed a bunch of people because we're like so curious and we love talking. So we're like, yeah, we'll do it. So it was really great. We spoke to a bunch of the people that interested us and like, interviewed them. I think we're going to chuck the interviews up, but different projects. Like I, for one, I thought by looking at the projects, I could like assume, oh yeah, I know what they do. Oh, it's another game, or it's another this or that. But until I actually took the time to talk to them, I was like, whoa! Like I interviewed the TCG game, that huge one in the middle, and I was like, oh okay, crypto game, another one of these. But then I was like, whoa, man! When he was saying to me, the founder behind it was actually building a metaverse, and they were this is obviously comes to my heart, spoke to my heart when they're building like universities in the metaverse for people that can't afford to go to real university and education and doing courses in the metaverse. And I was like, you what? That's not a game? I was like freaking out. I was like, whoa man. I was like, tell me more about that. And they're like, yeah, where you're going in and then you can study a course, people that can't go to Harvard or this, or, places that they can't afford, we're giving back. And I was like, yeah. So to see the people in there, like, there were a few people I connected with that it wasn't about the money. They were passionate, like, they were, like, excited and, like, how we can change the world for better.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't see that coming. There was absolutely no way that I thought when I went to a game stand that I was going to, and I was like standing there, I was like really laughing it up. That
also, I think, goes to show what we were discussing before, is the amount of people and the uptake in NFTs is because that is a perfect example of some of the brilliant utility that can be provided.
And that's the thing, like people are coming up with some really cool utility. It's not just, I loved, we're going to shout out to our NFT Melbourne in Sydney, because I definitely had to say, I loved, before I was like, oh, whatever. But I just loved their speech when, Charlie and I went and sat in and they were like, leave the Web2 mentality behind. It's time everyone, lifts everyone up and, helps each other along. Like Web3 is all about unity and community and all of that stuff. And I just thought, yes, like what an alignment with what we always talk about, because Cozy always says, people, culture, business.
Yep.
And we love that. So we met some really cool people, and just the quality of people is just really, people are upping their game.
I think a lot of that, I personally think a lot of that stems from the fact that because Web3 is predominantly peer-to-peer,
Yeah.
no one person can necessarily impact that bigger change by themselves. But like I said, you go out and you go, oh look, there's more people just like me, like we did.
Yeah.
And those people as a community, and that's the important part of this, as a communities, have great power in the space.
Yeah. Like the sentiment was good, it was so much, it was a really good vibe.
Yeah, and we're still early. We've got to build it up together.
Yeah.
With exactly what you said, Craig.
Yeah.
Bunch of random people on the internet coming together.
I love that. I love the idea of that, the thought behind that, you know.
And there were quite a few different categories, right?
Yeah.
At the convention, so there were like some exchanges where the big boys play, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean you couldn't even categorize just DeFi, because even that had several.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And then there was like some on the development, like blockchain, Web3 development companies. Few of us were there, and then there were some specific projects like this with ID as well. The digital ID and the privacy on the network. There were quite a variety, like the gaming. I mean, like if we talk about just gaming, I know that a lot of gamers does not like the crypto being in there, right? And we had a really good discussion with the Illuvium, Andrew. So you want to touch base on that?
Andrew, another one of our obsessions.
Yes.
Andrew was amazing. I was actually just floating around listening to the interview, and I was just going to watch them get started and go. And then I heard him start talking, and I was like, oh, okay. every word, like just to see the passion, it was so captivating. Like he was passionate about what he does. He was in it for the right reason. Like they're changing the world, bringing new levels of gaming, doing things that have never been done, and they love it. The graphics and how everything intertwines and interconnects, and just the knowledge that some of these people have.
Yeah, it's unreal. I think
So
one of the,
insightful, yeah.
exactly. One of the things that he really brought up was like, they're creating a game first, and then if they want to do the crypto part, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's not like earn to learn like a crypto first and then comes the game. So they have spent so much time into this. The demo was amazing, and that's the first time they showed that game at the convention. So it's not even out there the public, and it was like really cool.
Now, you before asked for a poll from anybody on the socials or something.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask another question of anybody out there listening, and it goes back to what you said a second ago, where the gamers aren't happy about crypto or blockchain coming in, and I find that odd myself. Only because, I know that people will spend ridiculous amounts of money on a particular skin for something, or a gun in a game, or whatever the case may be, but they don't actually own it. And what blockchain is bringing is the fact that you own it, you can resell it. It gives you something. I'd like to understand what the resistance is.
I feel like it's not so much a resistance. Like obviously, there's a lot of benefits of bringing blockchain and NFTs into gaming, but I think the comment was more around them starting with the profiting of crypto and then trying to make the game fit. So that's not as fun. If you focus on the game itself and the people playing, it's a different story. But when you design something for it to make money and then the game is boring and not enticing and it's just for them to get people to buy our stuff so we can profit, that's a different story.
And I think they're just pissed that miners have been stealing all their graphic cards for the previous years.
That's a really good point.
But now the proof of stake, because the Ethereum merged that,
So I guess it depends on how it's done. Like I said, letting them own that asset. Like if you've just gone and played 63 hours through a particular game to get to A level to get a particular object, then why can't that object be yours?
I think that once the noise is out, like saying, okay, the games are not about money first, I think then a lot of gamers would be happy to talk about it. Okay, now I see the value of it. It's not about money, it's about the asset, safeguarding my asset.
That's correct.
Rather than...
and I think it's also you need a AAA game studio to come on board and make
100%.
that shift. They need to make that shift, and then people start playing that AAA game, console, whatever, and then it flips. It flips when other game companies see how successful that one's become. It changes the whole demographic of the industry, the revolution, as you would say.
It depends on which way it's done. I'm not talking about making people buy every item or object in game, which is what a lot of them do to try and monetize it. I'm talking that item is then made available to you, but rather than it just being on the server or centralized, you actually own it. So you've paid for the game, you've done the hard work, and then you're rewarded with the NFTs. And if somebody out there can't be bothered to play those 63 hours and wants that particular object, then you get the profits from that because you're the one that put the work in.
Yeah, I think game theory in general, whether it's got NFT or not, like to be a successful game, even before all this, you're like the game economics, the game theory, everything has to work. But I, for one, am actually a big supporter of play to earn game, like anything that's in games. I think that's one of the that's going to really, I know like art and everything is really big in the NFT space, but me personally, I think it's going to be one of its biggest assets is going to be in games.
And you've got to have a free model. Like everyone's got to remember, like as you said, Craig, not sell NFTs to be able to join the game. Like Axie Infinity, that was the problem with them. And the big run, it was costing over $1,200 to start playing the game if you weren't an early adopter. But give people the option to play for free and then work and play and grind and reward them with ownership of items.
100%.
That's how you build a community.
That's how you build it. So I think we just went like really game.
I don't know where that came from.
Like really like went
off topic
a little bit, but let's bring it back. So we spoke about that, and I would like to just touch base about the speakers, right, at the convention. I went and saw only, 3 speakers myself. So, just compared, like, I think we had about 150 talks or something, or 50.
It was really
50
frustrating for me because, like, the theatres were just so small and, like, all the good talks, like, and then there was a different talk on it every theatre half the time, apart from the Michael Saylor theatre. But every time I was like, oh, I want to see that talk, I'd get there and it was all backed up and I was like, oh, I guess I don't want to see it that much. And then, it was only on Sunday that I actually was able to fit in any talks.
And the crowd
me personally, but I don't know what your experience was.
I really always enjoy Darren Rogan talking.
Oh yeah.
He's always
he's a
awesome
legend,
to listen
isn't he?
to.
So.
And the NFT Melbourne guys too.
Yes.
They're awesome to listen to. And they were the 2 events that I went to.
Yeah, I definitely went to hear one of the other speakers talk, but then hearing them all talk, I was like, this is, great.
I like the other guys who the Arcadians. Now, I've seen their project. I'm part of the Discord channel, right? But I never really understood about them because you hear about them, but and when they were on stage and talking about, and I heard like, oh, where these cheers are coming from, right? So I'm like, what's happening? They're just on stage and talking about it, and it's Arcadians, and obviously they have a really good community because they were cheering, right? They were like, and the one I really liked about them was that they were just giving so much love back to the audience. They specifically named few people because of the exactly.
Yeah,
right?
I was standing there with you.
Yeah,
I love it. You give energy, you get energy.
So much, this giving, and I think now I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm part of this Discord. I think I had to get that NFT, right? So I think
any excuse to
just
Cozzy got another NFT.
Is that what you told your wife, Cozzy?
Oh, I hope she's not listening to this podcast, right? But definitely, I think I'm going to join that, community because now, from the outset, I didn't get that, but now seeing them, and this is why it's so important to have in real life.
So you got to see the community.
Yes.
And that's what made you decide that you wanted to be more of a part of it.
Yeah. And the project founders, right? Because they are the ones who are really, that your belief, whenever they have a community, you're really putting your faith in these people,
and
right?
It could be the best project in the world.
Yes.
But if the only 2 community members are you and Derek, who still lives in his parents' basement,
yes,
it's probably not going to be terribly enjoyable.
100%. By the way, Derek is moving out.
Oh, good to hear, Derek.
100%.
Shout out to Derek if you're listening.
Hi, Derek.
But no, you know what I mean.
Yes.
It's like having that amount of people that
Exactly.
are interested in engaged,
Yes.
and passionate about it will make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And Michael Saylor, right? So he's I felt like he came across very different at the event than how I have seen him online. I had to say that, right? I don't know what it is or what it was. Maybe I was a bit of starstruck, right? I know Charlie is a great fan.
Yeah.
Like so I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna give some time for this guy, and he's like, and you can see like what he's talking about. It's like he didn't just come and just do crypto. It's like there's so much things going on. It's like the software company, building stuff on Light network, and so we can't just because we are like this maxi or that's maxi. I think we should be chain agnostic.
Yeah.
We should look at what push, because I think like everyone is trying to do their best, or not trying. Everyone is doing their best, right? Like everything else, If
I could use another automotive analogy without anybody slapping me.
We have never hurt Craig, by the way.
Why build a gas station?
Yes.
And then say, no, we're only going to put fuel in one specific model or make of car.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't make any sense. You have to support them all, right? So one of the questions actually I got like, so do you guys only build on Ethereum? I'm like, no, not really. We care, but we don't mind building on other chains. It's just that we haven't come up with a use case. Someone who came to us and said like, I want you to build on this chain, right? If they do, 100% we're going to start. At the moment, given the percentages of projects out there, Ethereum EVM
Or they're
projects are
EVM based, not necessarily
Yeah.
Ethereum
not
chain,
Ethereum, but
EVM based.
EVM based. Like
Yeah.
EVM based projects are massive, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But 99.9% of the projects that comes to us are all EVM based,
Yeah.
where we only got like Flow project that's coming up, and
Yeah.
we are getting into that cadence side of things as well, right? So, and it's interesting. So, if you are developing on Web3, I don't think you should just be a one-trick pony.
It's Web3.
It's Web3.
It's Web3, which covers everything.
Covers all of it. So if
Yeah.
you don't know, I think like you have to be humble and say like, okay, like we don't know, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Rather than pushing the client to jump ship. I think that's the wrong thing to do. Like, oh, we know only this, so let's push the client to use this.
We touched before on the education of the consumers.
Yes.
But a lot of that education still falls back, and I'm not talking about educating consumers, but we need to continue to be educated as well.
Yeah.
And by having exposure to a broad number of technologies, platforms, and chains,
Yes.
better helps you, I guess, consult, help, or decide
100%.
for anybody
Yeah.
what their application would be best suited to,
Yeah.
or what's out there that would help them the best.
100%. Right. Charlie, what do you have to say on that one?
Yeah, hey, we can't predict the future. We don't really know what chain's going to win, what chain's going to be around in 10 years. Things change, so
Yeah.
it's
Constantly
each-
change,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
each preference. We don't know everything, so
Yeah.
I
we
actually
just
even
did-
think. Oh,
you
sorry.
got
to
to
cut you
adapt.
off.
No, carry on.
What a surprise!
Keep
Sorry.
cutting me off.
Again and again and again.
Sorry, guys. Because a thought came into my head, so I had to say. And I think it
There
might
she
be
goes again.
interesting. I've had this problem for a while. It might be interesting to see now. I'm going to bring it up, and I know you guys are probably dreading me saying this. The fact that Ethereum has gone to proof of stake. I've been following so many people on Twitter and listening to like the sentiment on like Instagram, all that stuff, with the concern of it now being centralized. Back to that from last week, and the fact that now they're in risk of being under US regulation. I think that you're going to see a shift, maybe away, like possibly not away from it, but I think people are going to start looking at other decentralized models if that's what they believe, because everything's got its use.
See, something that you said a second ago is you're not sure which chain will win. I don't think there'll ever be one winner. I think
No,
you're actually going to see a whole heap more chains come out at the moment. Sure, some of that will thin back out, but I think that we're going to see multi-chains because each
Yes.
one and the way they work
And
will
bridges
And
are coming
bridges.
a long way
That's
too.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So there'll be like one for real estate, one for gaming,
Yeah.
one for this, one for that.
There'll be
I
all
think
sorts out there.
there'll
We don't
be-
even know. What
We
will
have
be
no
out there.
idea.
It's like saying, I don't know which road it is that,
Yeah.
will take me there. Well, there are many roads. It just depends on what you need to do on the way.
And in saying that, there's already a fork keeping with the proof of work model, Ethereum proof of work
Did
model.
they get hacked? Because proof of work, because there was a bridge. Oh my God, I can't remember the name. So what happened? Someone. Yeah. So someone said like wheat, and then they replayed the transaction, got another 200
Yes, they did.
wheat
Oh,
back.
what happened?
Yeah, I did read that.
On that, right? So I don't want to give too much information, but I just read the headline, right? I'm always like, don't be a headline reader, but I just read the headline. I was like, oh my God, I had to just quickly read it. So I just
it
get a
clickbait?
mental. No, it's
I
not.
know there was one that managed to hack like $1,000 worth or something.
No.
like that.
This
That
is
was
like
about-
like 200 wheat. So I just need to go back and read that article to understand exactly what about it. It's to do with the with the bridge that they just come. But
Yeah,
cool.
this will be different directions. It's just
Yes.
like a hard fork Bitcoin Cash, hard forked in different directions, and it'll work for the people that want to keep mining with the
Yeah.
hardware that they own.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
it.
know if it'll turn into an Ethereum classic, but
So cool. Alrighty. So I just want to now. That's a good discussion, guys. Thank you, and it's awesome experience, right? I would say, am I right to say that the experiences, the positiveness of experiences outweighed like massively compared to the negative stuff that we experienced.
Yeah.
At the conference,
Yeah. So it's a massive win, right?
Yeah.
Massive
Yeah.
win.
Once
And for
you're
the
in,
guys,
you
I mean,
yeah.
like, David, he's like a legend.
Maybe just next year, give the exhibitors whale passes on top of the
Yeah, and actually, and there were some other things as well, right, in that.
Like the bar lineup.
At the bar lineup, right? But even more than that, it's the like the app.
Oh,
Do you want to touch base on that one?
All right,
So coming from the law side, right? Forget about all Web3. This
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the Web3.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the exhibition, its convention itself. We are talking about the software.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say it because
Yeah.
I think everyone in the...
Should we just come into terms of how people that did buy a ticket but hadn't signed up to the app
That's right.
were
exactly what I was going to say.
in there.
And I know-
A bit of a
Yeah, and I know that there was mixed opinion here in the office, and I know that not the guys didn't have that same kind of anger that I had. I think that when I bought a ticket,
Yes.
I read the terms of my ticket, and I purchased the ticket giving my details. At no stage did they tell me what they intended to do with my details. When you showed me the app, I was like, hell no. So I didn't get the app because I thought if I download the app, it's going to put my personal details on the app that I didn't want to share with other people. I understand that some people are there to connect, and maybe they are going to opt into being open to connecting with other people. But me personally, number one, as a female, and I'm not saying every female has this opinion, but I don't feel like it's safe for them to put my details, my name, my photo, all my work history. I didn't like it. It was, to me, it felt like a huge privacy breach, and I would have liked the option. I didn't like that they gave people the ability. Anyone could just send me a message. I was getting like random messages from strangers to my email, and I couldn't even read them if I didn't. It tried to entice me to download the app to see who was messaging me.
Yeah.
I still refused to do it, but I really did not like how it had my photo and my full name and my LinkedIn and all my links. I didn't give them permission to do that.
Yes.
And it really frustrated me.
I agree 100%, but not to make light of the situation at all. It's not necessarily that we weren't as angered as yourself.
Yeah.
We just tend to control it a little better.
Well,
And yes,
from
go
my
ahead.
point of view is you buy the ticket, okay, that's fine. If you want to download the app and network, you upload your own details and you allow that networking to happen. You don't force from the ticket sales into the app, and I think that'll work. If they do that next year, I'll be happy.
And I think this is what I think the learnings are, right? I think when you are running, sometimes you do trip over. We've seen that happen in Olympics. Right? They train like for 4 to 6 years,
entire life,
their entire life, and they come to Olympics, and guess what? They just trip over, right? And these things happen, but these are things that we had to address, and hopefully, the team behind the Australian Crypto Convention team will, take this on board and have a look at it for the next event. So on that, I just mentioned next event.
Yeah, I was about to say, what about our next event?
Yeah, what's happening, Maureen?
I just wanted to bring it up because please don't forget that we're having our second event, and our events are going to be from now on the first Tuesday of every month. So the next event is going to be the 4th of October. Come down if you're interested in anything Web3, even if you just want to get into it. It's not like, oh, you have to know a certain amount. We're welcoming everyone. We're trying to build a really fun community. I actually spoke to the guys from NFT Sydney and Melbourne because I was like, oh, I'd love to be part of that too. We're going to try to get something like NFT Gold Coast going. But for now, we are holding our second Blockstars event down at the island rooftop in Surfers Paradise, probably at the same time, same place, Tuesday, 4th of October. Make sure you come down, bring your friends, bring your family, bring a stranger if you want. I don't care.
We care, we don't mind.
We what?
We care,
Okay.
but we don't mind if
Right.
they bring a stranger.
Cozzy does not mind.
Yeah.
And what time are we looking at?
Probably 6 p.m. I
Yes.
think.
Doors open at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's about, and also please, I just want to give a shout out to there are a few other meetups happening in Gold Coast as well. So then we have end of the month we have Darren Rogan's meetup
Yes.
happening in the cohort mainly. So please make sure that you guys
Show him some love.
yeah, and that's the thing is like it's there's today I was talking with Darren and it's like we can't have enough meetups because that means we are penetrating more people, we are onboarding more people onto Web3,
Yeah.
and then actually at Pete as well from the Cardano, group, I don't know, I'm into Cardano.
We know, Cozzy, we know.
Right? What the main thing is, it's about, again, we have to be chain agnostic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's good to see that, those groups coming and then we are exchanging ideas. When I say we, I feel like I'm like, some another team or something. It's not that. It's like, it's more to do with how we push the Web3, forward. Right, and there will be, how things Ethereum's going on, how's Polygon going on, how's the other Avalanche and Solana, right? I don't know, Charlie, you got something to say here?
I was just saying, thinking the price doesn't always matter.
Yeah, exactly. Price does not matter.
It's not just about the price.
100%.
Some people do think that.
Some people do think like that because again, like it's the whole game thing, right? It's all about money driven. I mean, we had to stop thinking like that and
that's one of the things I really like about what's happening, especially on the Gold Coast at the moment. We spoke about the community for this particular NFT or this project.
yes,
But regardless of what that is, or even if you're not in one of those communities,
Yes.
like you might be an artist that wants to learn what an NFT
That's
is,
super
and how to
important,
get into that
yes.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
But all of those people, regardless of that specific interest, up here tend to be part of the Web3 community.
Yes.
And they're very supportive.
Yeah.
it's like
It's
at the
appreciated.
moment. That's very true because what we are doing at the moment, so we are asking people to use internet, whether it's 56 kilobit modem or a 28.8 or 14.4 kilo, that's what it is, right? And or lease line. I think we are still on the internet.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's about we are going for the Web3, and I think we have to be very empathetic when it comes to people and understand there are frustrations and getting on board, and it's very clunky at the moment. It's not as easy as just it was same as like before when the internet came out. People were like, oh, how do I get the chat? How to chat? With online, and it's like software that it was before. It was super clunky. We had like so many chat rooms, and you click on it and you got the bots, and the bots we had in chat rooms, and we have those bots in Twitter now.
Yeah.
So it has not changed. It's
You're
the same
referring
stuff.
to the old IRC chat.
IRC
yeah,
chat.
that's right. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So they have nothing has changed. The same. It's people, right? Humans are involved. Guess what? I don't think we have changed much.
No.
Technology has changed, but we haven't, right?
Yeah.
So so that's happening with our meetup, right? And then the next thing is the Australian Crypto Convention 2023.
Oh. Okay.
And that one's in Melbourne, isn't it?
That is in Melbourne,
In Melbourne, yeah.
in lovely cold
We've
Melbourne.
actually got tickets for the next couple of hours, I believe, a few hours, where you can get them on special for $89 instead of the $250.
Yeah.
Wow,
If
that's
anyone's
pretty cool.
watching
I
live.
think definitely we should look
I
at that.
believe it ends today. So.
Is it the same time of year that they're planning on doing it down there?
I think they did release the dates. I believe it is September in the 20s, I think.
Oh, so even colder. Oh no, this is September.
Yeah, this is September. I think.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure.
okay.
I don't. Please don't
Quote you?
quote
Yeah.
me on that. But yeah, so they have released the dates on their website, on the Australian Crypto Convention website. So please check it out. Alrighty. So I just want to go to a more something that is not. Well, maybe that is something really we speak about, but how does it really apply in the tech world? right? I think this is something that get applied in the, I would say, the real world when it comes to charities and things like that, where people always comes first. A lot of the charities. So we had this people culture business type of deal, and we met quite a few people, right? And I was lucky to meet up with some like great people at the event, and I had to say there's a bit of a shift in mindset how people think about, and but there are other people as well who still, I think the downward in the crypto market got people to start thinking a little bit different, rather than money, like, okay, like now the money is taken out, okay, what else can we start talking about, the mental aspect, the mental health aspect is a huge thing. People are talking about that, talking about relationships, and now people are really coming together in real life experiences, right? So if I just talk about that, what have you guys experienced, Craig? What have you experienced over that 2 days on that aspect? If you take out the technical aspect aside.
I think it's kind of going back to what I was discussing with Charlie before about and more in the community, but more the utility that's around, like even NFTs. So as you said, it's the market's down at the moment, so nobody's actually making money from coins or tokens or anything of that nature. So they're looking for value in other ways. And that comes back to that utility, and that utility is exactly what we're talking about here, is putting the people first.
Yeah.
And that, as we said, grows the community, and everybody benefits.
Good point. Charlie?
Yes, well, I love my crypto bro people.
100%.
We're all
We love them.
open-minded,
We love
and
them.
we're all a different bunch of
Yes.
unique people.
Yes.
And I love the culture of crypto. Like
Yes.
I've told you since I've met you, Cozzy, I
Of course.
love the atmosphere that crypto people bring, and the open mindset and a different way of thinking too.
Yeah.
And that brings the business too. So
Yeah. Off to you, Maury.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said. I think that in a bear market, it's sort of really important for the people like us that were there for the last bear market, that got in before it, that know that feeling, to let the people that just got in before this know, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
Like, I know how I felt after the last, like, I was... went in blind, didn't know what I was doing, lost a lot of money, and I was like, and it took me another 3 years to get back into it. And now I'm like, this time I'm like so chilled and cool. I'm like, oh, my portfolio down 90%. That's fine. Like, but it's up to us to like look back and educate the people that are new. Like, let them know that it's going to be okay. We know that feeling. Separate, the emotions and your psychology, and just help people through it, because it can be a scary, devastating scene. But if you believe, you believe.
Yes.
If you feel like it's going to get back up, then you just got to hang in there.
Yeah.
And so that's like what the difference between a diamond hand and paper hands.
Yes.
I was once paper, boys.
Yeah.
you just show them the Bitcoin halving.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just show them, hey, this is what happens. 4 years of Bitcoin halving. That's history, not the future, but.
This is not financial advice, is it, Charlie?
No, it's definitely not. I am not a financial advisor in any way whatsoever, trust me. But it's just like falling off your bike.
Yes.
Fall off your bike, you get back on, and
100%.
you learn your mistakes, and you keep riding, you fall off again, and you get back on, and you learn and adapt. And it's not for everybody, but
sometimes
every bear market we have more people than we did the last bear market, and so on, and it just keeps growing.
And we get it, like sometimes you fall off your bike and you hurt yourself pretty hard, and sometimes that pain doesn't recover. Sometimes when I fell off my bike when I was riding Luna. But, sometimes you've got to roll with the punches, right, cousin?
That's right, 100%. Alrighty, so closing, just want to, before we finish, I got 2 more minutes. I want to talk about Solaris.
Yes.
So, Solaris, like quite a few people ask me at the experience, so what is Solaris? What are you guys doing the Solaris, right?
So should that have been the answer to what is your project?
Yes. Right? If you go back to the beginning of the podcast, what is your project, right? I think it is, I would say that is our project, right? So if I ask you guys, like, why did we do that project? What's the reason behind that project?
And that's the important thing, I think, to guess. Like,
Yes.
as I explained earlier,
Yes.
when people were coming in and saying, what is our project? So we don't have a project, we build your project. Yes, we have the Solaris project,
Yes.
but it was specifically built so that people could see, visualize, and experience what it is that we could build for them.
Yes.
Great answer. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I haven't explained what it is.
No?
We've just...
and at this stage, it's just our minting platform, but for coming into the future, we're going to be building other elements on that to showcase, okay, you want your NFT collection, you want people to come mint it, You know, you can also have all this extra features in if you want them as well, and give them a nice visual tour where they can actually see it on the big TV here, and we show it how it works and what it does, and let them understand.
I definitely think that it's going to be something that grows as we grow.
Yes.
Like, as we, Solaris is, representation of, Blockstars as we're beginning and we're launching, and it's like, we're hopefully going to the moon,
100%.
Like,
I mean,
as we grow. Yeah.
Exactly. And with regards to the NFT minting platform, what we have done is we have shown, rather than having crypto, you can pay with Aussie dollars, right?
Yeah.
20 bucks, and it mints, and it takes about, I don't know, it took me about 4 minutes for the mint to happen, right? And it happened, and it revealed automatically, and it got revealed as got minted, and this is what we are showing, like, okay, having crypto is good, but let's look at how can we, give the people who are not in crypto an opportunity to get into NFTs.
Yeah.
Have a piece of this big pie, so let them have a little piece as well, and so
they get to experience Web3.
Experience.
Yeah, and I like how Darren explained it today, how he said that's Web 2.5.
Yes.
Like, it's halfway. That was really good. I loved his explanation.
Or is
Yes.
it 3.2? That would
But yeah, that halfway mark where they don't have to be, all the way invested and know how to do all that stuff. They can be like, I want an NFT and pay with, like, what?
Yeah.
No, I agree. Look, it is still Web3.
Yes.
It's on chain,
Yeah.
it's minted, that's all there.
Yeah.
I actually disagree with the Web 2.5 comment. I think it's almost like consumer or customer 2.5. So
Yeah.
we've gotten them to 3,
Yes.
but they didn't have to do anything special or even realise.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Seamless,
so
exactly.
It was frictionless.
It's
That's why I
frictionless.
said 3.2, man.
Yeah, it kind of is.
3.2.
But, yeah. That's probably a better...
That's a crypto for a statement.
Crypto bro.
He just convinced me that that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Sorry, Darren.
But I resonated with what Darren said about 2.0.
Yeah.
It's like you don't own your private keys at that point, in a sense that you don't write it down. But again, that's no one has the private keys, and you can extract it yourself. And it's no one has the private keys.
We need to be clear that it
Yes.
is a non-custodial wallet.
Non-custodial wallet.
And
Yes.
if it's your wallet, then you have access to get the keys.
Correct.
Yeah, if you
Right.
want to go further down
Yeah.
the rabbit hole.
That's right.
That's right, and and this is what it is, and what we're doing is we are showing people this is what can be done, and there will be a lot more things coming. There will be a few more utility built into this Solaris project. We call them Ausbots, Aussie bots, right? So they're called Ausbots, and please join us in our at our what we call the Web3 journey, right? At the Web3 our meetup happening every month. First Tuesday of every month it's happening, and I'm not going to say anything, but there'll be some special things going to happen this coming
Don't give
meetup.
too much away.
Undo, please cut that off, Nathan.
Just cut.
We're live. Damn, I think that we should not be going live with this. So I would say, and then we do the POAPs as well. What are the POAPs? POAPs are like proof of attendance protocol, and what that is like we are giving POAPs to people who attend our events, because again, what we want to reward people. And the more we start getting people into our meetups, we know that we are educating people so that they don't do the mistakes that we did, right? And it's super important. So, the better, it's a lot better if you don't know anything. And if you know something, it's good as well, because we can learn something from you guys as well.
It's our chance to give back to them.
Give back, and and it's a two-way street, right? So, all right, guys, I think we have gone just over 1 minute over the limit. So, any closing things that you guys want to say?
See you guys at Aus Crypto Convention 2023.
Whoa, that's a big one. That's a big alpha there. How about you, Maureen?
I'm going to aim smaller. See you at the meetup, because it's sooner. 2023.
I just want to say hi to everybody that was nice enough to come and talk to me
And Derek?
over at the convention.
And Derek?
Derek, get out of your mother's basement.
All in all, guys, I'm so pumped with what's happening, and a massive shout out to the Australian Crypto Convention team. The team behind that convention are so impressed by by the vast and how the logistics is unreal. The sound, the people, how the OH&S part. Just crazy.
Can I quickly ask you, what do you think was the busiest thing there?
The busiest thing there.
I know my
Cafe.
answer. The cafe, exactly.
The cafe was
It's where the food line
All
halfway
the
through
way.
the convention centre.
That's good, actually.
Yeah.
But and I was like, anyway, what I was going to say, we have some really, I have hope, and we still need to have hope for humanity. Humanity is, I haven't lost faith in humanity. We are saying all this like, the digital, this transformation is just making people, but I have great hope for humanity. I haven't lost my, they're looking promising, so. All in all, guys, that's all for this podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Subscribe.